But, you know,
Yeah.
it was testing you because as a professional, you should be able
yeah.
to lock in.
Well, actually, I didn't
Either
stop.
way.
And then kept talking.
Perfect.
But I guess that's good for you. Yeah.
I'm just
But anyway,
one.
before you start talking, welcome back to the Differential Vodcast.
Oh, we're not on yet.
Oh, you're right.
But,
Yeah. Oh, we are.
Oh, we are.
Excuse me. Again,
sorry.
very unprofessional by you, but I'll let it slide this time.
It's okay.
Does that make sense?
I
What do you
am
mean
the
it's okay?
guest.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's okay?
I'm the guest.
Please introduce yourself. Tell me more.
Hi, everyone. I am Britney Jones. I do a lot of things. I wear a lot of different hats, but I'm excited to be here with Drew on the Differential Podcast.
Now, when you say a lot of different hats, we mean like literally, right? Like hats like put on your head, or like what are we talking about when we say hats?
Yeah, not a really big hat girl.
Well, I've seen you wear a hat before though.
That's when my hair is not done and I'm in a rush.
It's often, huh?
Yeah.
I guess. Right?
Yeah, it's a plan B. But no,
It's a plan B. You sure? Seems like we're going to plan B a lot then.
Hold on, can we restart that? He started. Go ahead and reset it up. I'll let you reset it up, host.
So, Brittany, what inspired you to start Black Cherry?
Black Cherry Visuals. So I grew up a creative. I've always been in the media marketing scene, and I've had the opportunity to work in a lot of different aspects of that world, whether it's video production, behind the scenes producing, project managing, editing, design, communications, UX, etc. And through that, I've met a lot of really talented and really just cool, passionate creatives. And one thing I noticed mainly from the transition from college to post-college was that a lot of those individuals ended up in a mundane sort of 9-to-5 role where they were doing what they were passionate in, but the passion wasn't there, right? So like you can be passionate about videography and someone can pass you a camera and you can hit the record button, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're passionate about what you're recording,
Right,
especially, yeah. So especially when you have to fit within this box. Yeah. So Black Cherry Visuals was an idea to essentially remove some of those boundaries and create a safe space for creatives to create what they want to create, to still have that freedom to do what they want to do, therefore still having a pathway to, indulge in their passions versus pull back on them to fit into a box.
Of course. So now, speaking of that and you being creative, what was your major? Just quickly, what was your major at Ball State? And dive just a little bit into that.
My major, what was my major?
Wow, we don't know her major.
I think so. My major was media, sales, and promotions, and I had a minor in business marketing.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Another quick question: where does Black Cherry come from?
So, my first car was named Black Cherry. I like to name my cars. That's a thing. And then, that plus I essentially had a Google Doc with a lot of my creative friends that I was talking to early in the process, and everyone was just kind of throwing a whole bunch of ideas on the board. Someone put an idea of, I think it was cherry visuals. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Right.
It's almost there. And then I was like, Black Cherry Visuals. That's just where it came from.
Okay, so what came first, your car being named Black Cherry or seeing cherry visuals?
My car being named Black Cherry.
Okay, so I feel like that was just bound to happen.
Yeah.
So besides that, you are the lady in charge when it comes to CE Stars Volleyball. So how does that work? Like, where did you find your passion for that, and what made you, wow, like, I love doing this? I know you played in high school and probably didn't, I'm unsure about your background of volleyball in college, but what made you come back to it and coach it and be so infatuated with it nowadays to make you coach it?
Yeah, so I played volleyball growing up, and I came up in an area that sports like volleyball and what we call like country club sports was not really, there wasn't really a lot of opportunities or access to those. And I remember just being so frustrated with the way that things were going back then. But anyways, grew up, stopped playing volleyball, focused on myself and my career and whatnot, and found myself playing again for fun. And I realized, I really do love the sport. I associated a lot of negative things with it when I was younger, but I was able to separate those and enjoy the sport. And so really originally when I started coaching, it was more so, one, a way to get paid in college. And then two, it was a way to get access to gyms and other people to play with, because, volleyball is not like basketball where you can just go to the YMCA and, you know what I'm saying, hoop. So I was like, I need a court and a net and balls and people to play with. So if I go and coach, that gives me direct access to that for free. And so that was my initial desire to coach. But then through that, I really fell in love with the process of, having an opportunity to impact young women, and see them grow, see them, learn things, and, having a chance to just, plant seeds as much as possible into a younger group of girls, and a lot of which reminded me of myself when I was their age. Of course. And then once I got on the coaching side of things and really started to indulge in that versus just, again, looking for an opportunity to play, I was able to connect some of those dots that I never was able to put a period on when I was younger, as far as like frustrations I felt when I was playing in some of those areas. So, I realized like a lot of it just came down to money and access. And, where we grew up at, there was none of that. And, on the other side of town, there was that. So the only difference between, this group of girls that's winning state every year and going D1 and getting all these scholarships in this sport, and this group of girls that's consistently not, is just that this group started earlier. They had the access, they had the resources, they had the coaches, they were playing, freaking 8 years before this group was playing. So it just comes down to, it's not rocket science. It's just they started earlier and they had people to teach them. They didn't. So I started, volunteering and dedicating a lot of my time to bridge that gap and to obviously remove the financial barriers with it. So myself and, other coaches that I began to build relationships with, going back and giving back to those communities that didn't have the accesses, and just starting to form a community that was familiar with the sport and that cared about the sport and started bringing their kids out. And that's where it all started. And so since then, we started off as All Out Volleyball. Then we partnered with CE Stars, and we've ever since then been CE Stars Volleyball. And it's been a few years now, and we're really starting to see those earlier seeds planted from some of those younger girls who are now about to enter high school, grow and develop and really bridge that gap and compete. So that's been the basis there. Right.
So going into CE Stars, I know you play a pivotal role in there just beyond volleyball. So what is your role in CE Stars? Like, I know if you're at a CE Stars event, you're going to see Brittany there, even though I may not like to see that, but,
Oh, wow.
It's neither here or there. But.
Yeah, we can handle that off camera.
Right, for sure. But just talk more about your role and why that is. Why are you around? No, not on the end, of course. Just why, like, what's your role?
Yeah, so my role in CE Stars right now is I am the sports chair of the volleyball program. So CE Stars, as everyone knows, it's volleyball and 7-on-7. So I oversee the volleyball program in whole, and then I am the vice president for the nonprofit overall. And so what I do outside of the volleyball side on the bigger picture is I just, help push the vision of what CE Stars is. And
sorry, what is CE Stars? That vision, like, please.
Yeah, CE Stars is a platform to provide resources, exposure, and access to all athletes, any athletes, regardless of what their background is. and, pushing them to excellence. So the biggest thing there is, we are a nonprofit. We do a lot to give back to the community and to remove certain financial barriers, but that's not to be confused with us removing quality or the type of experience that the kids are getting. And this is not to downplay, other organizations and what they do to give back, but we're really big on, we don't want these kids to have a hand-me-down experience.
Of course.
Just because, the money might not be there from them, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really big on, we still want these kids out there wearing, the best brands on their uniforms. Mm-hmm. We still want them going to the bigger tournaments. We still want them having the best coaches.
Still having a chance.
Yeah, still having a chance, and actually, providing a space where they see success too. Because I think in sports especially, it's important to lose, but it's also important to win to a degree.
Yeah, for sure.
And that doesn't always necessarily mean the scoreboard, but, winning.
Learning.
Yeah, like having some idea of what success looks like and understanding that it's achievable for all of us. So that's what CE Stars is in a nutshell.
When you hear the word vision, what does that mean for you? You being a visionary, you saying pushing the vision a lot, Black Cherry Visuals. Vision it has a lot to do with what you have going on from the surface. So tying that back into you, like, what does that mean? What does vision mean to you? And how do you push that? Sorry, I could have prepared you for this question.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how I'd answer this question, really. I'd say next, for real.
Oh, wow.
Do you want it next?
No, I'm ready for it.
Okay. Are you sure? I mean.
No, but vision to me means that you see what's next. You see where you want to go, where you want to be. You might not always have, the best idea of how exactly you're going to get there or what all the steps are in that process, but what the end game looks like. What the end feeling is that you're heading towards. So that's what vision is to me. It's essentially a plan.
What advice would you give to young people, let's say 17, 18, 19, 20, to self-maintain and do the things that you do at the level you do? You would say you're self-employed, correct? Mm-hmm. So, what would you give advice to those women and be like, okay, if you want to do that, you got to do this. What would you tell them?
I'd say, number one, have a plan. I think that for me, being able to, again, know where that end goal is, where I want to end up, where I want to see myself or, the things that I'm doing, and putting in place a strategy to get there. And, every plan might not work, right? But then you go back to the drawing boards and you come up with something else. But just have a plan and be intentional in everything that you're doing. Everything in our life is happening right now, right? It's not about getting hung up on what you could have did. It's not about getting hung up on what you could do. Yeah, it's all right now. So every day, what are you doing to get closer to your goal, right? If you want to be, at this level by this age, what are you doing to actively get there, right?
How is that coming to a plan?
Yeah, exactly. And so even the example of college, I feel like, a lot of people go to college just because for what? You know what I mean?
What's your goal?
Yeah, does it fit into your plan? And what are you doing at school that's going to continue to drive you towards that? And if that doesn't fit in your plan, do something that does. Don't waste your time. We have a lot of time, but in reality, we don't. And, we're so little, right? And our lives are so small. So just have a plan, be intentional with everything that you're doing. And then that'd be number one. The second thing I would just be is just take it all. I think a lot of times people wait for things to happen to them, or they wait for other people or superiors to give them some sort of validation, or it's you. Take it. Yeah. Sure. Go get it. Take it. Be aggressive. You're in charge of your life. So just have that type of mindset towards it. Just take everything. And you're going to get what you want.
So now I just got some questions for you personally, from Drew Evans to Britney Jones, so.
Absolutely.
The funniest thing we've shared something that we've done in the past that really made us laugh. I'd tell you mine with yours. Or like the other day in the kitchen, I slipped and fell, and it was because of the shirt that was tucked in my back. And I'm not sure if you went to go get that footage. I'd love to put that here if you can give me that footage of me slipping. But it was really funny. I can't lie. And I hurt my elbow. So please tell me a time we shared that was really funny.
Yeah, honestly, it's hard to pinpoint one time. You're a pretty funny guy.
Thanks.
Almost on accident, you know what I mean? Not intentionally.
Wow, that sounds kind of backhanded.
It's true though, Drew's a funny guy. He is a silly guy, but he's kind of like a breath of fresh air. He reminds me a lot of when I was like 17, 18, 19, and you just do a lot of dumb shit that doesn't make sense. I remember one time I was chilling in the garage with your brother, and we're chilling, we're vibing, we're relaxing, and we hear this big bang on the house, and we're like, what? We're like, what is this? Like, what's going on? So we're instantly like in defense mode. Yeah, we don't know what's going on outside. We go to check out the premises, and it's Drew outside with two of his friends, chilling, and we're like, yo, like what happened? And Drew's like, oh, my bad, I accidentally egged the house. And I was like, how do you first off, how is it an accident? How are you accidentally throwing eggs towards the house? And then why your house? Why not, usually people egg other people's homes, not their homes. And he said he was trying to throw the egg at a tree.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So to explain that, so I don't sound crazy here. I mean, no matter how I spin it, it's gonna be bad. But so what had happened was I'm with my friend, my two very good friends, Alana and Gianna, and we're about to go. We have eggs for some reason. Not gonna say why we have those eggs.
Right.
But we have eggs, right? So then I see a tree, right? And for some reason, I don't think to turn around and face it towards the street, but I see the tree and it's like right near the garage. So it's tree, house, right? And I'm standing right here, tree, house. I'm like, I'm about to hit this tree, like no matter what. And I play linebacker, not quarterback. So I missed very badly.
Very bad.
And hit the garage. They were sitting in the garage. I feel like if I would have hit the brick on the side of the garage, they wouldn't have got up. But it hit the garage, and it was loud. Like, I heard it. And as soon as it happened, we all turned around and started walking. And then they all came out the house. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're good. It's like, what happened? I just threw an egg. I missed, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brittany, where could these people find you?
Everywhere and nowhere.
Okay, well, she has a TikTok name, Brittany the Botanist. Is that what it is? The Brittany the Botanist?
Yeah, Brit the Botanist.
Brit the Botanist. And like the profile picture is her with
a plant behind
her. It looks like it's her hair. Don't get it where it came from. It took me a minute to figure out, but it works. So,
it does.
So
it definitely
seriously,
does.
Again, where to find you? Your socials.
Yeah.
Everywhere and nowhere is not an answer. You know what I'm saying? Correctly.
Okay. Yes. My personal Instagram is _B_Rit. So Brit. And then as far as our volleyball page, if you want to get involved, support, or if you have any athletes that are interested in participating and joining the community, we are everywhere under CE Stars Volleyball or CE Stars VB. Also cestars.com/volleyball. And then same thing on the Black Cherry Visuals tip. We're on Instagram as Black Cherry Visuals. Always looking to collaborate, always looking for new partners, and just, great people trying to do great things. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.